Wow. Hello out there! Welcome! I'm here with Gareth in his Motley Crue apparel there, it looks like.
Ready to rock.
Yeah, ready to rock some beats and talk about beat sheets and our Drop the Beat challenge. This was so much fun, wasn't it? I know for a lot of you, hopefully it was. I think it was. It was for me. Because we challenged you to tackle a beat sheet. And I know from a lot of the comments that I've heard that a lot of our listeners or audience members, writers, whatever you want to call ourselves, haven't actually used a beat sheet before. So great job, everybody, for participating and getting involved. And so to that, I just want to say congratulations. Yep. Anytime you write, I think we need to give ourselves a little pat on the back. Anytime we try something new, and this isn't like a silly like participation trophy. I mean, literally, you did put in effort, you did put in work, and I think we all grew throughout this process. I love this. It was hard and fun. Sometimes it
Fun?
does feel like that, right? Yes. But who knows, April, maybe next time you go out to plan a work, you're going to think about those beats in the back of your mind. Maybe you'll use it as a tool before you write again. Maybe you'll use it as a tool to help you do a development edit. All different possibilities. Before we get started, because we do have some great things to give away, and we also do have a winner to announce today. Let's see where everybody's from. We got Hawaii, Las Vegas, Atlanta, Ontario, Vancouver, Michigan. Yes, it was great education. It always is, right? Whenever you tackle something new. And if there was something specifically you learned about your writing, please let us know. I'm really curious to know how this whole experience helped you grow as a writer. So, Gareth, what did you think of the whole Drop the Beat challenge?
Well, the same thing. I would say congratulations, everybody that took it on and did it. Obviously, we had to look through the entries. I'd say even if you didn't submit one, for us to look at and go for this grand prize, well done. Anyway, just doing your own thing. I
Yes.
could see Laurie saying this beat sheet will lead me into NaNoWriMo.
There you
Exactly the
go.
kind of thing.
See?
That's why we thought it was a good time
Preptober
to
for the win.
yeah, good time to do it as well, because if you're planning to, something new comes to your mind and then you manage to get it planned out nicely in a series of beats, then rock on and write it in November. Hey, great timing. So yeah, well done
Yes,
to everybody.
David, help me in advance. Yes. There may have been a little bit of thinking on our part about that. We are aware of NaNoWriMo, just saying. But thank you for catching on. All right. So that being said, Gareth, what do we want to do? Do we want to talk about ultimate winners? Do we want to maybe draw into our little grab bag and give away some prizes? What are we thinking?
I'll leave the order up to you, Daniel. Whatever you think
You
is best.
know, I think I just like the element of suspense. It's a ratcheting up tension, part of the beat sheet. So, what is it? This is the transition to Act Two, right? Um, and this is the fun and game segment, where we're going to let's give away something from our grab bag. So, what prizes do we have in store for our audience, Gareth? And how are we exactly going to do this?
Well, this is for our spot prizes is just going to be a series of random draws.
Ooh,
So everybody who has registered to take part in the challenge, and again, whether or not you uploaded your story for a jury to check, you're still in the running for a prize. So I have a nice big list here of everybody who's registered. We're going to do a
nice.
random number generation and pull a winner. And whether or not you're here, I hope I always like it when winners are on the live streams, but we know that same time doesn't work for absolutely everybody. So I hope at least one person is here. But for our spot prizes, we're going to give away some physical items. We thought, how can we make it something special that ties into a reminder of having taken part in this particular experience, the Drop the Beat challenge, and ultimately it might actually have something to do with my little picture today.
And what is that?
That would
Ooh,
be
your
drummer
little
Otto.
Ooh, drummer Otto. So what are we gonna get? Drummer Auto what?
We have a series of physical AutoCrit drummer auto mugs, and we're going to ship those out. I think yes, Daniel has some pictures there. So these, whoever gets drawn for these, I think we have 3 of these to give away, and we're going to ship them physically. So they'll be right there for your, your coffee and whatever else drinking pleasure while you write your way through NaNoWriMo.
I love it. I love this. No one is here. We're all bots. It's good. Very existential there. S. Gray going a little postmodern. Must be a literary fiction writer, I think. Uh, Laurie says the mugs look cute. They do look cute. I'm a little jealous. I don't have a drummer auto mug yet, so I'm gonna have to get on that. All right. So that being said, you have a list you're gonna pull from, Gareth. Are we ready there with the list with our little grab bag so we can pull out a winner? Are we ready?
We are ready.
All right, so go ahead, Otto, spin the wheel. And Gareth is pulling out a name. Round and around it goes. Where it stops, only Otto knows.
You may stop it.
Beautiful. All right, so
And
who
our
is
first one to enjoy a mug is Isabel Flynn. Not sure if
Yay, Isabel
Isabel is with us.
Flynn. Woohoo!
Let me just mark
If you're here
this.
on the live stream, give us a shout out. If not, well, you're going to get an email, so you're going to find out eventually. So
Yes, we will.
awesome.
If you're not here, anyone who wins something will be in touch by email, as per usual.
Fantastic. So cool. All right, so are we giving away another one?
I think we shall.
All right, let's do that. Let's go back to Otto. Spit away, Otto.
And we're good.
All right. And
And you're never going to believe this one. Laurie Nelson. Laurie M. Nelson
what?
is the full name on the sheet here. So I assume that's our Laurie
Yeah,
that's here.
I hope so. If not, you have a doppelganger. So congratulations, Laurie Nelson. I believe you're here. I see your name in the chat. So if
It's
that's your
number
middle, if
number
that's your middle,
119 in the
if
list.
that's your middle initial, yup, that me. Yay! Fantastic. I always love reading your comments during the stream. So great to see you're getting a mug. Awesome. All right. So are we just giving away 2 or are we going to give away another one?
Yeah, I think we'll go. Let's do triplets. So we'll go for a
Okay.
third.
All right. Why not? Let's give away third time's the charm, right? Okay. I think we have some people a little jealous out there. So this is another shot for everyone. Let it roll.
Spin, spin, spin. Yeah, we got one.
I love it. Lots o coffee. Yes, that's me. That's my caffeine of choice when I'm working. All right, go ahead, Gareth.
And this one is number 3, Richard Morris.
Richard Morris. That name sounds familiar. I think I've seen him on our streams as well. So it's always great when we have our dedicated fans. Of course, it was a random draw. It could have been anybody, but I like it when I can recognize names. It's a tight knit community we have around here at AutoCrit, which is one thing I love about it. So congratulations, fantastic. All right. So that being said, we did have this is a writer page. We collect mugs like notebooks. It's kind of true, I think. I really think it is true. I'm picturing it's like in those like comic books where you like open up the door, it's like mugs everywhere. I love it. How many people are on the list? Well, that is a mystery, Lori. How many people are on the list? I love that. It's very like, yes, the amount of people that participated in the contest. However, as Garrett said, you did not actually have to submit a final draft in order to be eligible for a prize. We wanted to give it to anybody who just felt like they wanted to join us on this journey. But of course, in order to get the next prize, which is our juried prize, you did have to submit an actual form because we had to actually, analyze it. So, Gareth, you want to talk about some of the some of the pieces you saw. We had a whole committee of different people, but Gareth did see some of them. Go ahead, Gareth. What did you think of how our participants did?
It was very, very tough running, as per usual with the AutoCrit community. I can say Laurie with just shy of 300 people all registered there, so it was quite a lot to get through in terms of submissions too, and what we looked at. But some really, really great stories in there, and it was very, very tough to narrow it down. I think in the end we found our winner essentially because they were the one that showed up on everyone's little shortlist at the end. Every single person had that on there, and some of the others maybe just missed out by one or some way to make that decision because it was hard. And
It was hard.
honestly, jury wise too, we had to sit there and really dig into the sheets. Find the ones that were a really, really great story on first glance, great structure
Hmm.
going through, and then
Right.
come back later as you would with trying to get your own work into fresh eye gear again. We'd go away, come back, look at them again from a character perspective, and make sure that that we weren't kind of, well, at least me personally, wasn't kind of wowed by one initial idea and then let that excitement override
Right.
everything else about the sheet. So we had to go
Mm-hmm.
away and come back and mark them up like that as well,
Mm-hmm.
until we whittled it down to, I'm not going to say it came to a fist fight or anything like that, but whittled down to the more or less decision made by everybody picking our winner as a top point on the short list.
Yeah. And to Garrett's point, this is all highly subjective. When you get to a certain point, it is tricky, and this was the one that ultimately just hit the most people. So, if you did not win the grand prize, do not assume that it's because we thought your work was poor. It just, for whatever reason in this specific situation, didn't hit everybody's list the same way. So it's so tough when you have any sort of artistic challenge. But you do have to pick a winner because that's how the game is played. So, Gareth, do you want to reveal now the winner and maybe a little bit of what made it stand out, you think, to everyone?
Indeed.
All right.
Well, we'll reveal the grand prize anyway that we're giving away too. So the winner of the number one spot on here will be treated to a free Story Doctor clinic with us here at AutoCrit. So we'll actually bring the author in, sit down and talk professionally about the story or anything else if they want to talk about a different story or whatever, but really try to round it out in something golden.
Fantastic.
Really make it the best it can be. And
Yes.
the winning story that came through on all the beat sheets was Fira's story, A Rise to Madness by W.M. Brown. And do we have any
So,
clapping sound effects?
congratulations. I don't, but I can clap. Yeah. Woo! I know we need like a big audience. It's kind of weird though because it is just me here in the studio. So,
Just cheering
but
to
we
yourself.
know we're all applauding at our homes watching the stream.
Yes, I'm sure everyone else is, and yeah, join us in congratulating WM Brown here because yeah, this was a very, very strong sheet. And you could almost imagine, we don't want to do a direct walkthrough of the sheet or show it because maybe some people, you don't want to be seen publicly. All the details of the story. However, this is a kind of fantasy setting, and I was, from my perspective, kind of blown away by the tragedy of it on the first
Hmm.
read. Whenever I first got the sheet and looked at it, all I could see was the title was Fira's Story. I didn't see the subtitle, so I wasn't kind of
Right.
clouded by that. And I was very taken aback when I got to the end of it because it's very strong on the character front. Leading to the end, and I thought this is not your standard arc. This is a real tragedy. This is someone's destruction through success.
Hmm.
And I went back and read through it again because I thought, okay, I'm not too sure the beats line up there to get me to that point. And the more I focused on it, the more it made sense to me that yes, it was all there. And then I
Hmm.
saw, as I was marking it on my little short list, the subtitle "A Rise to Madness," and I thought, yeah, just perfect. It's all there. It's all there in the sheet.
Yeah. And to your point, it's one of those things that um there might have been actually I can say personally from the beat sheets that I was looking at, that there were ones that maybe, like to your point, had maybe a little bit of a more interesting hook, but we were really looking at the whole picture altogether. We were looking at, did they meet all of those, emotional moments? Did the whole thing come together? And to what you were saying too, when you walked away from it and you thought about it as a complete work, did it kind of, did it sink in there a little bit? Did it capture your imagination? And I agree, it was very well rounded altogether.
Yeah, I mean, some of the things that put it above was not just the very strong character arc that was clear and obvious in each of the beats, but how well the events described, picked there, fit into where they were supposed to be. There were some sheets that we saw, again, can't comment specifically on individual ones, but that very nearly got there. But again, on another inspection, it was okay, maybe that beat isn't quite right, or the inciting incident doesn't sound quite as strong as it
Hmm.
could be to kick this off and go down this road. So we just couldn't see it come together quite as well as in Fira's story, which is really what rose that one to the top. But that's not to say that, again, any of the others were bad by any means. There were some there with really great concepts, some with inciting incidents that were just like, gasp out loud. They were so good. Um,
I
but
was
just the
impressed because, especially considering how much we were getting in the comments of, a lot of you had never really done this before. I mean, you did listen to what we were suggesting, right? And you did follow the instructions quite a lot. Like, certainly a lot of them made sense. Maybe they didn't have that extra mile and they didn't quite sync up as beautifully as the winner did. However, it was, frankly, I was impressed. I really didn't know what to expect in terms of the participation, but I thought it was high level work overall.
Yeah, very much so. Very, very strong appearances, I think, from everyone. I can see we've got a little Shay giving a little clap. Of course, Lisa's congrats to everyone. Love the South Park
Yes, everybody.
image there. And yeah, everybody, congratulations, because it was an incredibly strong turnout and incredibly difficult decisions to make. And if anyone's worrying about things like any kind of genre bias or anything like that, the second one on my shortlist was romance. Because
I
I
was
thought it was so
actually
well
kind of
structured.
surprised when I saw that. I was really well structured. That's what I thought when I saw this. But when Gareth put it second, I was like, oh, well, Gareth does often say how he doesn't bias against genre. Well, I have proof from behind the scenes, when all the doors are closed, Gareth doesn't have any bias about genre. I'm just saying.
So yes, well done everybody. And WM, I don't think they're here right now, but I will be in contact by email to sort out the clinic session and everything.
All right, fantastic. Now, to Garrett's point, um, we did have a lot of people that submitted, and maybe you would like to get more feedback about your work. Well, don't forget, you can always book a Story Doctor clinic yourself. There's somebody here that actually goes to a Story Doctor clinic. So, hello. I know who you are. You're out here, and they could speak to it. But you could come to the clinic with one of your beat sheets, or if you're watching this much later, maybe the challenge is over and you've filled out a beat sheet or you used it because you thought it was a good tool, but you'd like feedback. Certainly, it's a great opportunity. And actually, for somebody like me, when I'm doing a Story Doctor session, having a tool like that for me to look at is incredibly helpful because we don't have uh, enough time to look at the whole novel. It's, and rather than somebody just come to me and they're like, well, I'm having trouble with this one part, if I can see it in the context, it is so much more helpful because then I understand what you're trying to do, which is what we try to do in the Story Doctor clinic. We're not here to be ghostwriters or try to tell you how to write the way we would write or something like that. What we're trying to do is get you to the level that you want to be at for yourself. And so you can tell the best version of the specific story you want to tell. So, having the more information about what the story is you want to tell, that's always a good thing. So, something to keep in mind. Gareth?
Absolutely, yeah, 100% agree. We'll be sending an email out to everybody to kind of wrap up congratulations to WM as well. And there'll be a link in there if you do fancy. We've opened up some extra slots for these clinic sessions, and if anybody wants to grab one for feedback on the beat sheet, or even if it's not the beat sheet, you're like, well, I've got this other thing I'm working on, and I want to get some professional help with that. I think Daniel is completely on mark there when he says the reason for things like these clinics is not to have somebody tell you how to write. That's a terrible way to help someone develop a story, but to just make you think about and look at the correct, from the correct angles to, as I said, find that gold that's in there and make sure it's as stable and structured as it could be. So if
Yep.
that sounds useful, watch out for your emails, and we'll see you in the clinic maybe.
Yeah, and for those of you watching this stream, just look below. We'll put it in the description. We'll give a little link to the Story Doctor Clinic if you want to book a session.
Alrighty. Any parting words from everybody who took part and is watching with us today? I hope you all had fun.
Any pithy words of wisdom about beat sheets? It certainly was fun, and to a lot of the comments, we are totally gearing up for Nano. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have all kinds of events on this main stream here on YouTube. We're going to have a kickoff party. We're going to do a midnight countdown. We're going to have streams about how to write faster, how to turn off that editor, tips for, you know, uh, productivity, things like that. For AutoCrit members, so those that are signed up with our software and the larger community, we're going to be doing what we call pit stops, because it's a race to get through NaNoWriMo, right? So we're going to have these little pit stops where we're going to check in, a little bit of accountability. How are we doing on our word count? Things like that. Little exercises, maybe to go back to the well a little bit and get those creative juices flowing. Plus, we're going to have a little bit of writing time, so you can have a writing sprint with a bunch of people. So what they often call write-ins. We do have a question. Let's see. Curious if you saw areas that were reoccurring issues that people are having with in the beat sheet. Was there anything specific, Gareth, you think, that you saw over and over again?
No, not over and over again. No,
Yeah, I wouldn't
I
think
think
so either.
probably one of the most. I don't want to say it was a common thing because it wasn't really, but the easiest thing to stand out is when the inciting incident isn't strong. It just
Mm,
feels like this
yeah.
stuff just happened. However, there were really no issues that were prevalent across the board for many people. Not at all. That's why it was so difficult.
I love this. No beat prize, and you forgot the pickled beets. You know what? I was just demonstrating why it's always a good thing to pay off your promises to the audience. That's what it was. It was all in my mind. I could literally go to my kitchen right now and get a can of pickled beets and eat it on air if everybody wants that. So I'm just saying, 'cause I love pickled beets. I just love how that took off. If we ever do the beat contest again, and if you want us to do the beat contest again, please comment below, like, share this, whatever, because, if we see a lot of traffic on it, then we know, well, this is what people want. So let us know. Otherwise, we're just kind of guessing, right? So let us know if you'd like to see this again. If you do, like I said, comment below. And next time, I promise there'll be beats. I'm sure that'll get the comments going. I love it. Fantastic. I'm good on the pickled beets, but I would love to do this again. All right, fantastic. Uh, I focus more on plot. I like that the winner had strong characterization in so few words. Yes, I do think that is one of the things that made it stand out, for sure. It was not just a bunch of plot structure statements. There's nothing wrong with that, but it did speak to the character's journey along the way, which a good beat sheet does. All right. So, any parting words, Gareth, as we leave our audience? You can't
No,
stop the beat.
just one final congratulations. Yeah, I guess it will be back. You can't stop the beat. We'll get there. And of course, the beat sheets are such a great tool that how could we not? We'll do it again. I guess parting for today, if you are, as Daniel mentioned there, a AutoCrit subscriber, if you're an AutoCrit Pro member, don't forget that today we have our October horror phobia workshop happening in about 35 minutes time. So
Woo!
if you remember of Pro and you have access to Mighty Networks, pop over there for the Zoom link, and we'll see you there for the workshop too, and have a bit of fun over there.
And if you're not, well, you got 30 minutes to sign up. You could totally do
Yeah.
it. It's possible. And if you do that, please let us know, because I think we might be able to work out something. So anyway, we'll see you over there for those of you who are AutoCrit members. For those of you who are just following us on this YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, and next Tuesday, Gareth will be back to discuss a horror novel. Ooh, just in time for Halloween, so that'll be fun. And we'll see you then. All right. Bye, everybody.
Thank you all.